Hello and welcome to SirToshi's segment on Satoshi's quotes. Gonna have a bit of fun today investigating and finding out what is Bitcoin. So let's get on to it. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online, the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Here we go. So you can find the Bitcoin white paper on craigwright.net, and here we go. This is the white paper, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system by Satoshi Nakamoto, aka Dr. Craig Stephen Wright. So the first thing we need to know is that Bitcoin is a chain of signatures. So where does it say this in the white paper? Well, look at this. Section 2, transactions. We define an electronic coin as a chain of digital signatures. Each owner transfers the coin to the next by digitally signing a hash of the previous transaction and the public key of the next owner and adding these to the end of the coin. A payee can verify the signatures to verify the chain of ownership. So this is where a digital signature attached to the transaction data carries with it accountability and identifies the person who has uploaded that data onto the network. So look at this. Oh, what's this? So, Bitcoin white paper, as we've just said, defines an electronic coin as a chain of signatures. I've posted this here on Twitter. So the question has to be asked then is, what is this? What is SegWit? Well, it says here regarding SegWit, it was also intended to mitigate a block size limitation, in other words, create more room in the block by moving excessive data, which would be the digital signatures, which confirms the transaction. Limitation problem that reduces Bitcoin transaction speed. Well, that's a farce. You can just increase the block size. And it says here, it does this by splitting the transaction into two segments, removing the unlocking signature, which is the witness data, which allows the transaction to be confirmed, from the original portion, which is the transaction data, and appending it as a separate structure at the end. Now, this is like saying, what we're going to do is we're just going to tear the signature strip off the bottom of the contract, and we'll store the contract in this particular filing cabinet and the signatures in this filing cabinet, but don't worry about it, they're both in the same cupboard. That is not going to cut it. Unless those signatures are on that contract is null and void. And so by removing the digital signatures from the transaction data and segregating them, you cannot prove legally who has sent you that transaction and identifies to who made the payment. This is what has turned BTC from a commodity into a security, because there is no one holding the Blockstream developers who implemented this, what they called software change, it was actually fundamental change to the protocol, accountable, because now there is no digital signatures attached to any work or transactions that they make on the network. It's absolutely outrageous. So let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at the next bit. So if we scroll further down, we can find out about proof of work. So proof of work here, it says, if we just highlight this bit here, the majority decision is represented by the longest chain, which has the greatest proof of work effort invested in it. If a majority of CPU power is controlled by honest nodes, the honest chain will grow the fastest and outpace any competing chains. That's because the honest chain is the most useful chain and is the most economically valuable chain. It's as simple as that. Nobody would put their data on a centrally controlled network, because it's centrally controlled and therefore it's not safe. Business and value is always going to be attracted to the most valuable protocol and network. And Bitcoin gets its value from its speed, cost, and scale, and the fact that it's a commodity network without a central point of authority or control or influence. So, again, the question has to be asked, what is this? What's this all about? Well, it sounds to me like all we need to do is look at the largest network. Which one is growing the fastest? Oh, look at this. Would you believe it? This was the hash for This was when the SegWit protocol was first implemented, changing BTC from a commodity into a security and crashing its economic fundamental value to zero. So the change is simply carried along with a new ticker symbol called BCH. But oh, watch this. This is when Roger Ver et al. And his friends started deleting the digital signatures with the transactions, meaning it was completely anonymous and completely centralized. So the original protocol and the chain of signatures just simply had to continue under another ticker symbol. But this is what has made the chain valuable. So what's going on here? Oh, would you believe it? It looks like the chain is growing absolutely massively. Look at that, to the point now that we've got 4.98 terabytes of data on the network. So it looks to me like BTC and BCH are economically and fundamentally worthless security offerings. Oh dear. So there we go. You heard it first. We have looked at the white paper today. It means that the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin is now BSV, because BSV is the only way to commoditize data, making it a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, cash being the most liquid form of money. And a commodity network can only be created with a fixed supply, a locked protocol, infinite scale in the form of an uncapped block size, economic competition in the form of proof of work, and a chain of digital signatures for common accountability, so that no one could do anything on the network that nobody else knows about, meaning it is a commodity network. There we go. Hope you enjoyed the show. Catch you guys later.